Hello, this is the TradeSite Forex Market Preview and International Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, January 19th, 2014, ending Friday, January 24th. Hope you've had a good trading week. We closed out the week with a nice winner on the euro dollar. And let me start by showing you the dollar index. We'll look at some of the other pairs on the daily charts. Then we'll look at the intraday action from this last week and discuss what we see coming up and look at the economic data coming out, what we need to be aware of. So dollar's been about as flat as it can be. I mean, we've got basically a nice cup base formation here. This is very bullish, actually. Breakout above that 81.50 area would be usually a strong pattern. Now let's look at this in general. Unfortunately, what that does is we've still got all this overhead back over here on the left side of the chart from above. So even though it's a breakout, you're still going to have a lot of resistance. I don't see it just picking up and running necessarily, but if it gets above 81.50, we might get a little push, maybe some momentum to the upside to get us out of this range we've been in. The 13 seeker sell signal that we got last week, I pointed out, didn't really think that was going to turn into much because it's supposed to be an exhaustion signal, and you're not even above the 9-bar startup phase. So I really didn't like that as maybe a major sell signal, and we did get a couple days down, but then we've sort of rebounded. And obviously, if we break out over 81.50, that's blows that signal, even though the risk line's up here. More importantly, we've just been stuck in basically a 3-point range on the dollar index now for 6 months. You've got the red static trend line down here, which is near the lows that would be support, the green static trend line up here, which is near that spike high in September, which would be resistance. So, and really like to see us get out of this range. It's been, you talk about the fact that the dollar index, we've been trading half size on the Forex pairs again since August when the summer doldrums kicked in. And until we start moving a little bit out of this, there's really no reason to bump our size up, even if we are somehow racking it in. I did post our results for the year. We had a really nice year in 2013 with just one negative month, and everything other than that was huge. So I think, despite the fact that we've had the narrow ranges, we've been doing well. We had profitable quarters to close out, or months to close out the year. But obviously, you'd like to see it get a little easier, get these ranges expanded. So here's a look at the weekly chart of the dollar index, just so you know, on a weekly time frame, you get even less signals. I'm going to give you an example. This is 2014 so far. Here's 2013, 2012, 2011, because the chart basically goes back to 2011. So we had in 2011 to 13 seeker buy signal, and that level has held and gave us a nice run. And then we had a 13 seeker sell signal in 2012 up at the top, and that so far that obviously led to a big decline in the market, but even that general area has sort of contained the market. And since then, we haven't had anything. We haven't even had a 9-bar setup complete startup phase. So, that really suggests a lot of flat, choppy action. I'd like to get back to some of the action that we saw in prior years. And even if I zoom this in a little bit more, you can see what the Forex market's capable of in terms of movement, but we're just not seeing it presently. So that's where we're at from the broader time frame perspective. Again, sideways is sideways. Whether it's basing action, whether we're about to break out, or the secret 13 sell signal is going to hold. Either way, we're not doing much. Here's the euro dollar for the week. You can see 180 pips of range from high to low for the week, and there's some spikes, spike to the high. So if you back that out and the quick touch of the lows, it's more like maybe 160 pips, 150, not that much. Monday was very flat, Tuesday was very flat, got a little movement Wednesday, Thursday very flat, Friday very flat. And if I look at the pound, here's what you get on the pound for the week. That one's got almost, we call it 180 also. A little more exciting Monday. We did miss one day because we were on the wrong pair. But we did have a couple winners this week, and Friday we closed out nice. I also wanted to point out one other thing on the daily charts, which is that at the end of the year, here's the pound yen. We got a 13 seeker sell signal on the pound yen, and so far that's been the top. So really interesting to see these signals work and play out the way that they do. All right, so that's it. I mean, pretty much ranges remain the problem. 180 pips for the week on the pound yen. I'm sorry, on the pound dollar and the euro dollar, averaging like 60, 70 pips per day. That's just not that exciting. So we will remain, unfortunately, half size for now. Let's look at the data that's coming out this week. On Sunday, bank holiday for Japan to start the week. Home loans out of Australia, Europe's Italian industrial production, federal budget balance out of the U.S., business confidence out of New Zealand. We've got current account out of Japan Monday night with bank lending. And remember, the U.S. is on bank holiday on Monday, so the markets, the banks are closed. That means we're basically going to have should have a dead Forex session. We will have levels for Sunday and Monday, but we will have no calls Sunday night going into Monday, as it's usually not worth trading the U.S. bank holidays. So we'll pick it up Monday going into Tuesday, where we've got, like I said, the Japan current account, economy watcher sentiment out of Japan. Europe, we have the German WPI, French CPI. 4:30 a.m. Tuesday out of the UK, CPI, RPI. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm on the wrong week anyways. Let me bump this forward. Let's get this right. Okay. So Sunday, we've got a bunch of data coming out of China. We've got the GDP, fixed asset investment, industrial production, and retail sales. Japan's revised industrial production. So Japan is not on holiday Sunday. The U.S. is on holiday on Monday, as we know. CPI out of New Zealand Monday night. Okay, now we're on track. German zoo economic sentiment and the broad European zoo economic sentiment going to Tuesday. Spanish HPI, CBI industrial order expectations for the UK. Tuesday morning here, Canada's manufacturing sales and wholesale sales. Westpac consumer sentiment out of Australia and their CPI. Japan's monetary policy statement and all industries activity numbers going into Wednesday, along with the Bank of Japan press conference. UK's got claimant, the unemployment rate out of the UK, basically, average earnings and the unemployment data. Zoo economic expectations out of Switzerland. We've got a rate announcement out of the Bank of Canada and their press conference. This is all on Wednesday. So not a lot of data out of the U.S. up to this point in the week. Business manufacturing index out of New Zealand. Inflation expectations out of Australia. China's got a couple of numbers. Bank of Japan monthly report going into Thursday. Europe has a bunch of their services and manufacturing PMI data out of France, Germany, the broad economic European one. Current account out of Europe. It's all going into Thursday here in the U.S. CBI realized sales out of the UK, retail sales out of Canada, unemployment claims out of the U.S., flash manufacturing PMI out of the U.S., along with our HPI, existing home sales, CB leading index, natty gas and crude oil, credit card spending out of New Zealand. Those other numbers were all out of the U.S. So the biggest data dump of the week is on Thursday out of the U.S. I wouldn't say any of those are super important to Forex. Italian retail sales out of Europe going into Friday, core CPI out of Canada, and that's it. So I do not see any data that we need to be necessarily aware of. Obviously, the big point of the week is we're starting a new option cycle. Doesn't necessarily impact Forex dramatically, but we are starting a new option cycle, and we have the bank holiday on Monday. Everything after that, hopefully a little normal. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal 11. Hope you have a great trading week. We will see you in the lab. Give you our calls and hope you make some money with it. Have a great week.